Hi everyone, welcome back. Today is another installment of my Makeup and Musings series here on my channel. This is the series where I sit down, put my makeup on, and just chat with you all about whatever is on my mind. I am especially excited about this Makeup and Musings because it's going to be a little Q&A about my motivations for starting my YouTube channel, some of the technical side of what I do with my videos, and just a bunch of other kind of YouTube channel related questions that you all sent in to me on Instagram. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm Morgan. I'd love to have you subscribe before you go today. And now let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so before I jump into answering some of your questions, just a reminder that during these videos, I don't usually talk about the makeup that I'm putting on my face too much. So I just always list all the products that I used in order down in the description box below. So if you're curious about any of these, go ahead and check out the description box. And I also want to say I really appreciated you all sending in your questions. I asked on Instagram, what do you want to know about being a really small content creator or getting started on YouTube? And you sent in some really interesting and thoughtful questions, so I truly appreciate it. If there's anything that I don't answer in today's video, feel free to leave me a comment down below. I'll probably do some more of these Q&A style videos because I really enjoyed hearing from you all, kind of what questions you had about YouTube. So I'm not taking all of these questions like perfectly word for word from what you all sent in, just because a lot of people had similar questions and similar categories. So they're kind of all lumped into groups, let's say. And the first group that came up really frequently was about kind of like technology, equipment, etc. And in particular, quite a few people asked like if I could recommend purchasing like one piece of equipment or one thing to get started on YouTube, what would I recommend? And this is kind of a hard category for me or a hard topic because as someone who's a really small content creator, I didn't want to like heavily invest in recording equipment or a studio setup or anything like that, just because I'm kind of doing this as more of a hobby and we'll talk about that in some of the upcoming questions, but it didn't make sense to me to invest really heavily in that sort of thing now. I'd rather spend my money on makeup, frankly. I'm not sure that I am the best person to be giving like strong recommendations in this realm, but I'm happy to share the things that I do use. So I actually film on my iPhone. I have an iPhone 11 and I personally think it does pretty well. It does kind of flatten things a little bit more than I'd like. So sometimes when I'm editing and I thought that based on what I see, like when it's recording, I thought you would all be able to see like a certain level of detail. And then I sometimes get to editing and I'm frustrated because you can't actually see the thing that I thought you'd be able to see. So that's kind of one of my frustrations. But honestly, for the most part, it works super well. And it's something that I already own. So what's the harm in that? I just mount it on a tripod in front of me. And I got the tripod at a yard sale for 75 cents. And because I use my iPhone, I actually edit all of my videos directly on my iPhone on iMovie that comes free with the phone. And then let's see what else. I store my files on a solid state drive, which is actually pretty pricey. So that's probably the most kind of expensive aspect of my setup is that hard drive that saves everything for me. But you can get cheaper alternatives. You could buy like a bunch of thumb drives or something. I just wanted one big file system, so I went with something that could store a lot of video files. And then truly like the only other aspect of my setup at all is lighting. And I got some of those very like cheap, like mechanic garage style lights and covered them with some like white stretchy fabric so they're a little less harsh. And then I literally set them up on my drying rack. So I can insert a picture here of kind of what it looks like because it's pretty ridiculous, but it totally works for me. And again, I'm just not really trying to invest too heavily in things right now that I think I can get by with a relatively affordable solution. So like, is there a particular piece of equipment that I'd recommend? I mean, no, I think my lights make all the difference. I was originally just filming in natural light in front of a window in my house, and it was super restrictive. Every time there was a cloud, my footage was totally messed up, and I understand that people really like natural light footage for makeup videos, and I still do them occasionally. Like if it's nice outside, I'll do it. But It just means that I couldn't film when I needed to. And especially in the winter, with shortened days, it meant that I couldn't film like after I got off work for the day. I also got a lot of questions kind of lumped into the category of how much time do I spend on my YouTube channel? And this question really made me think a lot because it's not like I'm like actively tracking my time necessarily. So I had to kind of like really think through how long I'm usually filming, how long it usually takes me to edit, all of that. So basically what it comes down to, I think for me anyways, is around 5 hours of video. So it usually takes me somewhere in the realm of like an hour and a half to film. Like even the shorter videos you see, I'm usually sitting in front of the camera for quite a while. Just takes a long time to apply makeup and talk at the same time, basically. Maybe around like 2 hours to edit that hour and a half of footage down into something usable. And then like somewhere in the realm of an hour, give or take, for like the other stuff. So things like making a thumbnail, writing the description box of each of my videos, backing up files, planning, posting on Instagram, all that kind of stuff that kind of goes along with it, but isn't directly tied like to that video particularly. Some of that fluctuates a bit. I tend to batch film. So basically that means like I'll sit down, I'll do one video where I'm putting makeup on, and then I'll film right after that, I'll film a video where I'm just talking about something so that I kind of knock 2 out at once, and that cuts out some of the time of like setting up, adjusting my camera settings. And then I can also like store all those files at once. I don't have to kind of back things up to my computer multiple times. So give or take like 5 hours per video, and right now I'm doing 3 videos a week. I might drop that down to 2 videos a week this summer. So, you know, somewhere between 10, 15 hours a week approximately. So those were sort of the like logistics side of things, those kind of 2 categories of questions, equipment and time spent doing this. The next 2 categories are a little different. So there's kind of one section in the middle here where I'm going to talk about money side of things, like spending money on makeup, am I making money on my channel, etc. And then the last chunk I kind of saved for some slightly more personal questions as well. So heading into then kind of those money questions, it's basically a series of questions that came up over and over and over and over again. A bunch of you all submitted questions about this. So at the kind of bare bones, a lot of people were asking me, do I make money on YouTube? And the answer is I do not make money on YouTube right now. There is potential to make money on YouTube, but there are certain thresholds you have to meet. So YouTube requires you to have at least 1,000 subscribers and at least 4,000 hours of watch time from people on your channel. So I'm still, as of now, as of filming this, I'm under 300 subscribers. So, I'm still a long ways away from that 1,000 person mark. And that's just kind of the indicator to allow you to start to make money. It doesn't mean you're gonna like suddenly be making tons of cash, right? Basically, those ads that get placed on people's videos, you can only have those ads placed on your videos once you hit that threshold. And then it's the advertisers that pay Google, who owns YouTube, and then YouTube pays creators for basically providing a space for advertisers to put their ads. So long story short, no, I'm not making money on YouTube, and I've got a long ways to go before I could potentially start making money. There are other ways that a lot of people on YouTube make money as well, through like affiliate links, which is like basically the links to products and stuff. I would get a cut out of, if you chose to purchase that item, I'd get a cut of that, or having, discount codes with brands, things like that, that can kind of allow you to make money and not be dependent on Google as a company. But those sorts of opportunities are really only available to people with large audiences, right? Because brands and affiliate companies are probably not interested in working with very small creators just because of sheer volume, right? I can only influence, so to speak, so many people to purchase an item if I have a large enough audience to do so. So ultimately, no, right now I do not make any money on my YouTube channel through any sort of means. Same with Instagram, I don't make any money over there. And I also do not get PR from any brands. I know that's also a common question from people. I don't get any free makeup from anyone right now. So basically, that was probably the top question I got related to money. But then there was this kind of like subset of people who clearly knew about kind of like YouTube's payment rules and all of that jazz. And rather than asking me, do I get paid? They asked like, there's no way you're getting paid or making money off of this right now, so why are you doing it, right? So basically wanting to know like, if money is not my sole motivator, then what else is encouraging me to continue doing this? And for me, this really gets to kind of the heart of why I'm on YouTube. So I'm gonna just kind of give myself free rein here to ramble a bit. So I'm gonna kind of talk through why I started, what's keeping me going, and kind of my goals for the channel, because there were a bunch of questions in kind of that whole general realm. So I really started my YouTube channel for a couple reasons. Number one, I don't really have any, well, I shouldn't say I don't have any friends and family who don't like makeup, but they just aren't as enthusiastic about it as I am, maybe. I'm always in love with the idea of finding something new that I really enjoy. I like recommending things to people. And although I think my friends and family kind of like put up with me rambling about makeup, I wanted to find other people who were just as enthusiastic about it as I am. And that just wasn't gonna happen in my little kind of personal circle. I would say about like 3 years ago, approximately, give or take, I got really into the beauty community on YouTube. And by got really into, I mean I started watching tons and tons and tons of creators that I had no idea existed mere months ago, right? And I really just dove in and fell in love with it. I fell in love with the atmosphere, the collaborative culture. I feel like I follow and watch a really good subset of people who are all super community minded. They all lift each other up, recommend each other's videos, get excited when they get to talk to other people with similar interests, and I just wanted to be part of that. So I'm definitely like entering the beauty community sphere on YouTube, like arguably really late, right? And so I think when people kind of look at that and they think like, well, she's not going to gain any traction, like she's never going to go anywhere with that channel because it's late to be starting a new makeup YouTube account, basically. I mean, yeah, I agree. It is late and there is a huge chance that this will never go anywhere, but I have to just kind of keep reminding myself that really the reason I started doing this at all was because I wanted to meet other people with similar interests, and that's totally happening. A lot of you I never would have met before, and I'm so grateful to have been able to connect with you through YouTube or Instagram. And it just means the world to be able to talk to some people who are just as excited about things as I am. All that being said, I won't lie, I would love to make money doing this someday, especially just being able to make money to kind of cover the costs of my channel for buying new makeup, maybe for upgrading to a better video editing software or a better camera or better lighting, that kind of equipment side of things. I would absolutely love if someday I were making enough money on my channel to kind of support and upgrade the things I'm doing here. And that ultimately is a goal of mine with this channel. I know it's gonna be very slow progress. It's gonna take a long time to get to that point. And in the meantime, I'm really grateful that I do have this kind of community aspect of YouTube to kind of keep me motivated and keep me going. So kind of lumped into all this money discussion is somebody asked me, would I do YouTube as a full-time job if I made enough money to, comfortably live off of what I make on my YouTube channel? And as of now, as of like right now today, the answer is definitely yes. I enjoy my career, my full-time job outside of YouTube a lot. I do. I really enjoy it. But I'm someone who's extremely highly motivated by personal success. And by that, I mean, if I think there's something I can do extra at work that'll like help me get ahead or be more successful, I am so willing to go above and beyond for personal success. And I know that's kind of like a thing you're not supposed to say. I know you're supposed to say you want to do well at work for other people because of the impact you make on the world, because of XYZ. And I think that's really important. But I know what motivates me, and my own personal success is a huge motivator for me. So I know I would be absolutely incredible at being self-employed because every action that I took would be a positive impact for me, right? I also think that being so closely connected and tied to my community on YouTube would make me motivated as well to do well for those people. Whereas kind of the impact that I have in my job right now is a little amorphous. It's a little far out there. It's not something I see on a regular basis. I don't interact with the people I'm benefiting, so to speak. So I guess in some ways it's a little hard for me to be as excited frequently about those sorts of impacts. So yeah, I would. I mean, that's like such a hypothetical, like way far off in the future kind of question that, that's like hard to say realistically when push comes to shove. What would I decide to do? Like, would I stay in a full-time career or would I leave completely to do YouTube? But I know that I love setting my own schedule. I know I love deciding what activities and work tasks deserve my dedication at what times. And so I do really think that kind of my own motivations would really keep me going and could be a really fulfilling career for me. So kind of tying this all together, a few people asked, like, what are my biggest goals this year for my channel? And that's such a hard one. That's such a hard one because I kind of set goals for myself as I go. As such a small creator, I have very little kind of control over YouTube and how they do or do not choose to promote my content and the algorithm and all of that. So I have a hard time kind of trying to really nail down any sorts of real goals because I feel like I'm still kind of getting the hang of things and I don't have enough influence yet in kind of this sphere to kind of like determine whether any of those goals happen or not. And so that's intimidating to me. I like to set goals that I'm in control of a lot of the time. So this is just a very different kind of foreign concept to me. That being said, I do have a goal that I'll hit 500 subscribers. So half of that kind of 1,000 required to be monetized on YouTube. I want to hit that 500 subscriber mark by my 1-year anniversary on YouTube, which is like the end of August. But here's the thing is like, if that doesn't happen, it's okay. I'm doing the best I can and I know that. And I know I'm putting everything I can into this. So if that doesn't happen, that just means my growth is going to be a little slower than I had hoped. And that's all right. That's just the reality of the world, right? Just some context for what I'm doing here on my face. I'm going strongly for complementary colors today. So I'm doing yellow on my eyes and then purple on some other parts of my face. But I realize right now without any like bronzer or things on, this looks a little wild. I am going to quickly hop off. I might do some eyeliner, I think, and some mascara, and then I'll pop back on to do lips and cheeks and all that jazz. Okay, back with the eyes done to just kind of finish up bronzer and blush while I answer these last few questions. So kind of picking up where we just left off, I got one question that just said, do I wish I would grow faster on YouTube? Do I wish I would, gain traction more quickly than I have? And of course, the answer to that is yes. Yeah, like the whole idea is I'm trying to connect with people. I'm trying to grow. And like I just mentioned, it would be nice if my channel would at least fund itself, right? So yeah, I do wish I would grow more quickly than I am growing. However, I just want to reiterate that the point of me kind of starting this was really to connect with people with similar interests. And that's also how I want to grow my subscriber base, right? That's also how I want to grow my channel. It means a lot to me that the people who subscribe to my channel actually enjoy my content for what it is. And by that I mean, like, I'm not going to go out and always buy the next new best thing because that's not what I'm doing on my channel. I absolutely am so glad that there are people that do that with their channels because it means that I can get reviews on new products from those people really quickly. But that's just not ever what my channel is going to be about. Frankly, I don't make enough money to buy all the new makeup releases constantly, nor do I want to own that. It means a lot to me that I have like a relatively small curated makeup collection for my own sanity. I love the satisfaction of using a bunch of products that I love over and over. And that's just not something that you get to do if you're a review channel. So I don't want to grow my channel in a way that implies that I'm going to be a review channel, right? I don't want to just like garner a bunch of new subscribers through constant reviews of new products because That's not what I'm hoping to do here. And I don't want people to be disappointed when I get to like a certain subscriber threshold and then be like, psych, I'm not a review channel anymore. I just want to sit and chat with you all about makeup that I love. I just think that's disingenuous, and I would rather build a community really, really, really slowly than blow up overnight, but not actually have a true connection with anyone who's subscribed to my channel. So here's where the purple comes in. This gorgeous blush from the Balm called Beachgoer, and I have the shade Low Tide. Man, this stuff is pigmented and it's glowy, so I gotta be a little careful here. Tap all of that off. So I also got kind of a set of more like personal questions related to my life, and I don't want to share more than I'm comfortable sharing, but I'll answer some of these questions just to kind of give you some context and some validation that I am listening to you all, and I appreciate that it's important to you for you to get to know me, right? So some of them were related to my career. I work for a university. I do instructional design. So basically I create online courses. I work with faculty members to create online classes. It's a really good job. Like I said, I do really enjoy the work I do outside of YouTube. Some people asked about my family. So of course I have my immediate family that I was born into. They all live in Wisconsin, which is where I'm originally from. And then my family here in Colorado consists of my husband and our 2 cats and a dog. If you want to see them, I post about them a lot on my Instagram stories, so follow me over there. It's just at Morgan Witte Taylor. And then we also have some of Dan's immediate family, my husband's immediate family in Colorado with us as well, and a sister in New Orleans. So that's kind of my family, where we're all living and who's involved. And then last up here, as I kind of attempt to talk and do my lips at the same time, I just want to say a huge thank you to those of you who've been supporting me on this channel. It really, really means the world, and I have something really, really exciting coming up for my 100th video, which is next week. So keep an eye out for that. I really wanted to do something to say thank you to you all and give back. So keep an eye open for that upcoming video. Okay, so that is it. Those are kind of the big categories of questions that I got when I asked you all on Instagram. Like I said at the beginning, please feel free to leave me more questions down in the comments below. I'll answer them the best I can. And if I have enough questions, I may film another Q&A later down the road. Again, thank you so, so much for watching. Please consider subscribing before you go today if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.